Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me go from Bellend to Legend on the Brewmaster Monk in the War Within Season 2. What does Bellend to Legend mean? It means we go from 0 to 3000 rating, doing it PUG only. Currently we are at 2696 rating, so there's a 69 in there. Very good rating to be at, obviously. Highly beneficial to us getting invited. We are still at the murder scene where we're not sure what really happened to the banjo, ukulele, whatever the hell this thing is, wielder who got picked up by a hawk, maybe. I don't know. If anyone has any lore on this, please do share in the comments, because I am just baffled. I want to know, is this just like random set dressing, or is it actually something that's supposed to be a reference? I don't know. Anyway, on the stream we cleared some 11s. I think I did an 11 workshop and 2 started for the previous video, and then all these other 11s we did on stream. We had I had a rough time, honestly. I had a rough time with the motherload. I had a bit of a rough time with DFC, where in DFC I messed up the percentage. In motherload I went for a big pull at the start, and people didn't wait until I grouped everything because I didn't tell them to, so they just started mashing their keybinds or their one button rotation as soon as they saw enemies being pulled, and they ripped aggro while I was still gathering, and it turned into a shit show. And then the DFC, I just accidentally skipped a pack I was supposed to pull, and that led to me having to do a huge pull at the end with all the creepers and stuff, which was a bit of an issue because they were kind of rough, at least for me. You can live them, it's fine, and we lived them. I don't think we had many deaths, but it was, the boss fights were kind of an issue in the DFC 11. That was more the issue. People were messing up mechanics. On Candle King, people just kept getting pickaxed to the dome. I got pickaxed as well, but I thought it would be better for me to get pickaxed than the hunter who didn't move behind a candle thing or wax thing, whatever. Anyway, that's what we were doing on the stream. The rest of the runs were pretty dang smooth. As you can see, we mostly 2-star things. Only the motherload, which I turned into an absolute shit show, was an issue. Also, in the motherload, I guess I should point out, at the end, I decided to YOLO it and do the whole gather everything pull, and it turned into a 3 War Machine pull, and it was my bad. I did not need to do that. My route didn't even call for that. We were over percent at the end, but hey, it was fun to watch on stream, so... Also, I used Celestial Brew an embarrassingly low amount of times, so I have worked out a little Celestial Brew reminder that basically when I'm at 6 stacks of Purified Chi, I will be using Celestial Brew, or it'll be dancing here in the middle. So we've got these, we've got the Chi Burst reminder, Keg Smash, we're going to send that out just because we can. And now we're just waiting to build up some, whatchamacallits, some Purified Chi stacks here. I'm just going to use Black Ox Brew just so I can actually send these. There we go. Now we have this telling us, hey, you're at 6 stacks of this nonsense. Use your big absorb, you know, your main 45-second minus whatever CDR you get from Keg Smash cooldown. That does a huge absorb for you. You should probably use that, you dumbass. Anyway, that's how it works, and hopefully it's going to be useful for us. I really hope so. Because, yeah, your boy kind of doesn't want to be embarrassed about how few times I use Celestial Brew in a run. So I'm just going to have it dance at me over there, and I feel like that's a good solution to it. There's no real bad time to use Celestial Brew. Otherwise, maybe just when it's the end of a pull, then maybe I shouldn't use it, but shit, man, whatever. As far as gear changes are concerned, we've hit 668 item level and are now packing some upgraded pants. We've upgraded those pants we took from the vault. I think I've upgraded my helmet almost all the way. We are now out of gilded crests, and I kind of decided I'd rather do upgrades for 10 crests each than recraft things. I think recrafting is going to wait until the end. You do see that I have a 681 cloak, but that's because I crafted a brand new cloak from scratch. I had a 658 champion cloak. I figured it's an off piece, I may as well craft it. Now everything that isn't a tier piece is basically a crafted piece plus trinkets, so I think there's no more point in crafting new items. I will just be crafting whatchamacallits, or recrafting from this point forward. I do have some sparks left, but like obviously, I'm not going to use them for anything. Things may change. I might craft a helmet if I purify the pants later on, if I get some more myth pieces and stuff. The helmet I am just very unhappy with because it gives us haste mastery. Although it does give us avoidance, but avoidance isn't that great of a stat for Brewmaster. You'd rather want leech for your tertiary. Oh, and I guess there's one more new thing with the WeakAuras I should do for the recap, and that is when I use enough of these, what are they called? Flurry Strikes. when I proc Wisdom of the Wall, the one that makes me do shadow damage AoE with my flurry strikes, I get a indicator here. So I'm going to beat the shit out of these dummies until, yep, there we go. We just used flurry strikes and we got the thing. So what is the idea with this? You want to use as much energy as you can during this this period. It lasts longer than 16 seconds, unlike the other buffs. I don't know why they did that, but that is the case. The tooltips do not say this whatsoever. They just kind of do their thing. And again, I'm trying to spend as much energy as possible here so I can get as many flurry strikes out as possible. There we go. I think we managed to get a few of them out. And as you can see, flurry strike doing quite a bit. And I think it's because of thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Oh, we got another one anyway. Oh, I should have used my, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But we are tracking that now, and I think it's nice. So the damage breakdown, you can see here that this is the explosion, the shadow explosion, is the majority of our damage with flurry strikes. Flurry strikes not exactly very, very potent outside of the shadow thing that does the AoE. So definitely want to try and min-max that for damage if you care. I'm not going to focus on it too much because I'm not too worried about my damage. I think I do enough damage. I don't really care. It's the DPS's job to kill the things in our key levels. I don't think I have to min-max damage until I get way, way later in the key levels. But it's something that we track now and can utilize if we want to, if we're having a chill run. And now finally, let's move on to actually doing a key. I have an 11 Theater of Pain. I kind of don't want to do an 11. I'm going to try and apply to a plus 12 key, which I don't think will go swimmingly because I'm not even 670 yet. And I know you don't need 670 in order to be able to do these keys, the 12s and 13s. I could finish this challenge without getting any more gear upgrades, but there's other tanks applying with higher item level and they may get invited over me. They also aren't brewmasters sometimes, so you know, I think people just don't trust brewmasters because there's so much negativity around brewmaster, and I probably contribute to that because I keep saying that brewmaster sucks. But the reason I don't like brewmaster isn't because it can't live or because it has to get healed, unlike most other tanks, or because of whatever reason, low damage, whatever. Why I don't like them is because they suck to play. I don't like playing Brewmaster. I have to put in a lot more effort to get the same effect as other tanks. What I have to do for aggro is a lot compared to other tanks that literally just use one button to get aggro. Not all other tanks. VDH also has some aggro nonsense going on, but for instance, Bear just thrashes. Prot Warrior just thunderclaps. Prot Paladin slightly closer to Brewmaster, but if you have Avenger's Shield or a Shield of the Righteous, you have aggro. It's kind of annoying, but hey, 'tis what it is. I got the powers of the brew. I'm going to go look for a plus 12 key now and hopefully get into one. So I'll probably talk to you when I get into a plus 12 key. And here we go with a Theater of Pain plus 12. I'm curious to see how this goes. We don't have a way to skip these. I know I can Paralysis and Ring of Peace, but I've tried it and it has not worked out. It was no bueno, unfortunato kind of situation. We're going to taunt the AoE totem. Stun goes out. We're going to get a kick out here. We get some damage out from Thingy with the stuff. A Soothe would be great here so the healer doesn't have to heal his face off. But I guess the Bloodhorn apparently, and I've heard this said, takes extra damage if you are doing while he's channeling that, which I don't know if that's true or not, but it is beneficial to the group to some extent if we do if we just let it go then. But with Soothe being an option from the Druid, I don't feel like we need to do all that. Touch of Death and then go straight into boss. Again, I know I could Ring of Peace, Paralysis, skip that, but every time I've used it so far has been unsuccessful and I don't like that. So I'd rather not risk it for the biscuit. That biscuit ain't worth it, you know? Looking to see where my ranged are positioned, so I can expect to have some nonsense in that direction, like the frontal and whatnot. I'm going to move towards them so that they're not super cut off. Chi Burst again here, trying to not stand too close to... Okay, I would love a kick out of all these ranged kicks. I would love one if that was possible. There we go. So again, I'm trying to lead them in a way that they don't get too close to the edge because then we run out of space. Let's use that Celestial Brew. And now we should be spending more energy to min-max our damage. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Saving my kick for when we have to move, if we have to move. Maybe I should have saved my kick for that, actually. I just reflex kicked while I was saying that actively, so that's fun. Trying to keep this moving. Withering Touch goes out. People are getting dots. It's the druid and our friend here. Getting some kicks now. That's good. Okay, had to move out of that. So far, so good. I don't know. I like this group. We're doing decently well. Didn't min-max my energy consumption there, but let's get a touch out before that Withering Death goes out. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. And Celestial Brew used on cooldown, as it should be, pretty much. As long as you're in a fight and have 6 stacks of Purified Chi, use it, because you can then get more benefit out of your CDR. You could save it for like a tank buster or something, but I don't feel like that's particularly necessary with Brew. Maybe in later keys where, you know, shit will hit me like a truck and I will have to actually, you know, use my brain. This guy's just about dead. Not bad for having to do the first pull, first group pull. I feel like this is quite good. Big AoE goes out. We do a bounce back with the little Vivify, and I feel like that was pretty smooth. Group's doing quite well. I didn't show the group, but here's the group in the bottom right corner of the screen. Item levels, none above 670. So I think I'm the highest item level in the group. Yeah, 668, me, highest item level in the group. Very nice, very happy about that. Because that means we can do these without having to have a boost squad of 680s. All right, we're gonna go for Xav first. Xav first. Where's Xav? There's Xav. There you go, buddy. I'm not going to skip anything. There's no fancy skips, no nothing. And we have the big guy. This guy will be kicking my ass. I can already feel it. Savage Flurry, we're going to dampen harm. And once it finishes channeling, that's when I will purify. There we go. I can stand in this. I'm really not too worried about it. We're going to try and get some heals out here. Savage Flurry goes out. We purify after it finishes. There we go. And then Celestial Brew, smooth out that damage intake. That is so nice. So nice. Loving this so far. Another one, and 21 million turns to 10 million. We're gonna stand in this because we just don't care. Earth Crusher goes out. We don't care about it. Beautiful. Okay, that is min-maxing stagger right there. And we purify at the end of the cast. Beautiful. And we have Celestial Brew coming in. I mean, am I just the best Brewmaster you've ever seen, or the best Brewmaster you've ever seen? I'm joking, of course. There we go, right at the end. And I'm going to send another one because I can for the special delivery and stuff. Feel like I'm okay doing so. And then one more final Savage Flurry for the road. Touch of Death them to clear the stagger before we go into the next one. Again, I'm not skipping. We could run past this and whatnot, but I've had mixed results and I'd rather not find out that the group doesn't know how to do the skip properly. So let's just, you know, handle it. Interrupting Roar. This is the one with the crushing thing, whatever it is. My icon's Colossus Smash. There it is. So I have to worry about that. That's the one I should use. After I get smacked by that, potentially he'll hit me right afterwards. And maybe I should look to clear the stagger after after that next auto attack. But at this point, I don't think it matters too much. Colossus Smash, we're going to use our Celestial Brew to block some of that damage. I seem to have dodged it, so I'm not even debuffed right now. That's how easy this is. All right, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Do people have enough space? Should I be pulling him further back away from people? I do not know. Colossus Smash is about to go out. It gets dodged yet again. I love to see that. I guess it just goes to show you really don't have to do any fancy skips as long as or aggressive routing for 12s at this point. People are doing enough damage. If you have a very subpar group that is just not doing very well, then yeah, maybe you should consider doing some skips and stuff, but you really don't have to. We're gonna Explosive Keg at the start just to make sure I have aggro, because people like to blow their cooldowns on this. And I've had issues in the past where I just don't hold aggro here, so I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to send one of my absorbs here. Can I get this guy to just group up? There you go, bud. Oh, okay. Ooh, a pushback, yoink back thing. I thought we just pushed them back because we wanted to stop some casts. But nope, there's a yoink back down. I just didn't see it in time. So that's wonderful. Let's get this kick in. Celestial Brew can be used. Look at that. That Celestial Brew WeakAura is going to be a life changer. I don't have Ring of Peace here to bounce that guy back into the group, but I'm going to stack him on this Arbalest. And I can Chi Burst through that other one. Maybe get some healing in from that as well. Our mage will get a little bit of extra healing. And now that everything... Okay, there was a blast wave coming through. I guess we were trying to stop the shoots from the Arbalest. Very nice. Now we could skip this. We're trying to skip this, apparently. Okay. Did we succeed in skipping it? We did not. Oh, invisibility. Big invisibility. Big invis. Nice. We kind of on the fly decided to skip that. Now I don't know what the percentage cut is going to be here. I'm going to have to pull some stuff later. I'm going to try and not pull too much. That's going to be the goal here, is to not pull too much. Let's build up 4 stacks of weapons of order on the enemies here. And then we're going to go ahead and Explosive Keg right here. Boom. It was 3 stacks because I switched target like a dum-dum, but it's whatever, man. It doesn't matter that much. It's just my damage. Ooh, cheat death proc by the mage. Mage gets sent down to get beat up by our friends. It is our enhancement shaman. That mage is not going to have a good time. But actually, it's kind of nice that we have it, the PvP end quickly. I can touch of death here. There's no stupid affix or anything to deal with. Maybe I should have saved touch of death for when there's DPS downstairs, but I don't think it matters. Now we have enough to use a celestial brew. I'll use celestial brew here in a second when he does this circle. This is when I'll use celestial brew, because then I can just keep standing in it, and it's kind of nice. Not that I get like super high value out of it. You get like, you save a global or get an extra global in, and it's really not that big a deal. All right. I'm losing threat on the banner. The banner is now attacking me. Good, good, good. Can't have the banner hitting these other unsuspecting victims in my group. What the heck? Okay. I guess dampen harm here wouldn't be bad, just to make sure I don't get surprised by the damage from that thing. I have no idea. I don't think it's that important. And we're just gonna celestial brew on cooldown. I don't think it's an issue. He's gonna turn around eventually and just punch me in the nose and break that celestial brew anyway. But may as well have it up. I could be wrong. I should really check how long the duration of celestial brew is, so I don't say stupid shit for no reason. This time the paladin takes out the shaman. Usually it's the same people that keep getting sent down over and over again, so I'm a little surprised to see that we have a new set of people, in the sense of the paladin got sent downstairs. Making quick work of Xav here, it feels like. We have lust. Do I dare do the big pull into Gore Chop Wing? Touch of death here. Not necessary, but just to increase my damage. Bit of increased damage for when I send out, during 4 stacks of Weapons of Order, I sent out my damage abilities, Chi Burst, and Exploding Keg, so that felt quite nice. And boss is just about dead. 2 people are getting a shortcut unlocked by getting sent down there, so that's nice. And we're going to roll off the edge here. Big with lust? Question mark? It's very risky. The group's been on top of it. Healer says, nah, I trust healer call more than mage call, so let's do that. Here we taunt totem down here, and then fire breath everything, and there we go. Not going big. Healer said nah, so I'm not gonna go big. Looking for a kick here. It gets CC'd. I'm gonna kick this one. That one in the back I'm looking at. If I need to bounce him, I'm gonna bounce him. I bounced him. I paralysis him. He needs to get kicked now. There we go. Cat boop, our healer takes care of it. Cat boop. I love that. That's such a cute name. So this is not optimal, obviously. We wanted to do a big pull where we pull the patrol as well, and then we kill all of it with bloodlust. It's a very dangerous pull because you have 4 kicks you need to handle that will wipe your group, and it's a pug, so there's no real coordination between who does what. Here we're gonna put one of the never mind, my ring of peace is on cooldown. I ain't gonna put shit anywhere. I'm just gonna stand on the ranged. The mage is standing far away, so he'll get jumped next, I think. We're gonna put this down. Aha! Where are you going? Where you... Bro, look at that. Look, what? Dude, he's in the air. Flying through the air. That was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. There's been some wonky shit with interrupting things with Ring of Peace that jump around. It's... Bro, please, can the range please stand still, please? Please, I beg of you. Just stand on top of us. You're not helping anyone. This guy walking away from us? Yeah, he is. All right, let's get in there. Not too quick, though. Not too quick. You don't want to startle the poor guy. He has nervous guts, you know what I mean? Like, he's just going to start blowing on both ends if you startle him too much. This one in the middle here, we have to startle, though. He's kind of in our way. So he's just going to be farting and burping all over the place. He just gets like that when he's nervous, okay? Don't judge him. Don't judge him. You want to live a day in his shoes. He doesn't wear shoes, but you don't want to have that happening to you. Imagine if every time you got nervous, you just started pooping and farting up a storm and burping, and it would be really, 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 really bad. You don't want to make fun of him. You don't know what it's like. What am I even saying at this point? All right, we chilling. Put down a bounce here. Struggling with the aggro because I'm bad. Let's use Celestial Brew. Hopefully I use that during the thingy. We're going to kick this, take care of it. I'm going to stand on this side. Probably a bad choice. Really hoping he sends it like this across. If he doesn't, it's going to be maybe an issue because we're down a tight hallway. I think we're good. I'd rather stand in this than in the... Ooh, or Paladin and didn't see it or was clipped by it right at the edge. CR goes out. That's interesting. I don't think that was necessary, but I'll take it. Hopefully we don't lose anyone again. All right, we're good. And let's Chi Burst through everyone. A little bit of healing. Not too much, but a little, you know, just a tad bit of healing. We're going to touch a death that because we can. I'm dragging this into El Jefe because we have Lust. We may as well blast it. Okay, there we go. Weapons of Order. Smack them all down. And let's go. I think we have an Earth Elemental that's going to be taunting random things off of me. Hateful Strike goes out. I used my... this is so stupid. Ooh, our healer goes down. Good thing we have a second CR. We've had one CR, yes, but what about second CR? Ooh, there goes the mage. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's almost like we shouldn't have used CR last poll. Okay, whatever. It's cool. We got this. Just got to make sure we don't get caught by these chains. It's not gonna be it's not the end of the world if I get caught by the chains. Okay, like it's bad, but it's not the end of the world. I can recover because I have defensives that I'm apparently unwilling to use. Just gonna try and avoid that. Let's taunt this guy. He's kind of autoing our friend here. Healer gets caught by the chains, but I think he's okay. Chi burst into explosive keg here. Wake of Ashes stuns them. We're going to use dampen harm here for this hateful strike. Just keep things nice and smooth. All right, there we go. Taunt totem goes down. We're going to AoE taunt. Make sure we stay around the center of the room. That feels kind of okay. I need to wait a bit longer after tank busters to use my purifying brew. That feels bad when I use purifying brew without adding in the damage from whatever it is, you know. Celestial brew for that tank buster. I was holding it there intentionally, even though I saw the wiggling thing telling me, hey, you need to use this. Because I just thought it'd be good to use it like that. Fight is looking pretty quick considering we have one person El Dedo. So let's clear stagger with a touch of death here. Hateful strike comes out. I don't even feel it because Brewmaster Monk. Stagger is great. Am I right? Am I right? We're going to use Explosive Keg on the next group that spawns in so that I can get aggro. Is it right behind us? Of course it's right behind us. So I'll use it on this guy, taunt that guy in the back. Try to avoid this way and then move back the other way and we good. There we go. And Chi burst in this direction to just hit all of them. Celestial Brew's up. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Auto attacks hurt too. May as well use it for that. Hateful Strike comes out. We recover from it with a Purifying Brew. And an Expel Harm. Ooh, this is bad. We're going to Alt 4, which is Fortified Brew. I know I haven't been using it much, but like it feels very much like an oh shit button to me, so I try to save it for oh shit moments. We're going to go ahead and use another Celestial Brew and a Chi Burst, and that should, I believe, finish off this boss here in just a moment. Just make sure we avoid that. Very nice. Hateful Strike, Purify, Expel Harm. And we good. Very annoying to keep aggro here, but it's no big deal. Now maybe this is a lesson for us to not send CRs on trash where it's maybe not as necessary as boss fights. But we still stomped the boss. We killed it fairly quickly. We have Kultarok Wing left, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Catboop says their game froze. That is unfortunate. I'm going to spin here for aggro, which is not like the best thing I could do for aggro. It doesn't matter. The mage is moving over. We're going to go ahead and zap that. Taunt totem goes down. Wake of Ashes takes care of that. We're going to taunt this thing. And let's Explosive Keg. And let's stun everything. Oh, I overlapped my stun, unfortunately. And Chi Burst now. We're going to bounce them all. Ooh, double bounce. Very powerful. Very rare technique, the double bounce, where the mage and the tank align. Across the universe, we connected in that moment, and we knew that we need to fire it at the same time. I'm so full of shit today, dude. I'm saying the most random bullshit. I hope you guys are not annoyed with me. And we touch of death, and we grab this little orb he drops. It's very pretty. I like it, so I wanted to bring all these sprite animations over here because that seems to help us progress through the dungeon. I don't have Purge, says Shaman. Okay, we have Spell Steal, and I think this is a Blood Elf. Yes, Blood Elf can also handle it. I'm just not going to pull the ones that require Purge, though, so I don't think it's an issue. There's no reason to. We only skipped one mini-boss, so I don't have to pull as much here. I have to pull 2 groups, not 4 groups. So I think we okay. I think we okay. That is my understanding of it. If I'm wrong on the percentage, well, we're going to find out. And we're going to find out relatively soon. All right, Bone Spear gets interrupted by the Shaman. I'm going to put a focus on that. I'll interrupt the last possible second. Cat Boop takes care of it. Stun goes down. We're going to stun here because there's 2 casts we're scared of. Blinding Light goes out. We touch it at this one now, and we good. Okay, I was focused primarily on making sure this doesn't go off. Once this Soulbinder is dead, we're going to move on to the next group. Maybe after this Soulstorm. It's about to Soulstorm. Yeah, let's do it after the Soulstorm so I don't have to do Gathering in the middle of the Soulstorm. Actually, no. Since I need 2 packs, I'd rather pull it with the next group, where there's the easier guys to survive. We just have to dodge. So we pull it next group. I'm going to ping these guys that we're going to do those guys as well. Okay, we have these guys grouped relatively tight now. I'm going to chi burst in that direction and get them all pulled in. Let's go. Taunt totem over there to AoE taunt. Keg smash to get aggro, and I'm going to focus on interrupting the soul binder. The rest of these casts, so the big guys, the dark speakers, they only ever cast at me, so I really don't care if they cast at me. I can take the damage, it's not an issue at all. But the soul binder will cast at anyone, and the volley needs to get kicked. So there's really only one very important kick, which is the soul binder. Sure, you can also argue we should kick all of the casts that go out on people that aren't the tank, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. All right, I'm gonna go over here and keg smash. Once they reach me, I will use thingy with the stuff. Fire breath. Bounce this guy over. We're going to need him for percent. I know that it's not the most efficient pull, but it's a very safe pull, and that's what I like. I like safer pulls far more than efficient pulls, which might be contrary to what I did in the mother load that I did yesterday, the 11, but sometimes you just got to go for it, man. Sometimes you just got to go for it. Quick chi burst for the end here. I'm looking forward to checking how many celestial brews and stuff I've used and see what the improvement was from just setting up these nice little WeakAuras. Now here, like, I'm not using purifying brew as much and stuff because I'm just not taking all that much damage, right? Like, I just don't freaking care, right? So there's that. Let's get aggro here. Bingo the Bongo is being targeted by spells. I don't care about these interrupts. I'm going to interrupt this thing now. Mage does the same thing. Exploding keg. There we go. And chi burst. Touch of death this guy as soon as we can. Volley gets interrupted by the shaman. Well done, shaman. We're gonna kick this because there's not much else to kick. Why did my kick not go through? We're gonna kick this, I guess, because there's not much else to interrupt. Again, dark speaker, sure, he can be interrupted, but he only hits me, and I don't care. As you can see, I'm barely having to use anything to keep myself healthy here. Maybe the druid has a bunch of hots on me or something, but for the most part, I feel pretty safe either way. All right. And that is a dark speaker dead, and we're ready to move on to El Jefe here. We're going to get ready with a ground marker. Oh, there we go. That's the direction I need to turn my camera. I'm running ahead so that I can put my ground marker down. We're going to put it down here. I'm just going to ping right here so people see it. Okay. And let's get started here. Now, perfectly, I think it works out. Our bloodlust timings look really, really good. I feel like I'm standing here and I'm not moving for the life of me. There is no reason for me to move. These orbs don't hurt me that bad. Maybe on higher key levels, I'll have to look out for that. But for the most part, I literally just don't care about the boss damage here. It's complete non-issue. I'm going to bounce these guys into the Ring of Frost there. Beautiful. No kicks available, unfortunately, but I can heal after the cast goes out. I say no kicks available, I mean I don't have a kick available. That's what I meant. I think people had kicks, but they were focusing on killing the ads, and the casts here still don't matter at this key level, so not a huge deal. As you can see, I barely have any stagger to clear because the boss doesn't really auto-attack. He keeps casting. Bomb Mucker, which is definitely not Mom in disguise, is interrupting things when they're cast on me, which is no bueno, but it's not a big deal. Again, these don't matter all that much. We stack over here. We can stay in melee. Our mage has a bit of an issue where he doesn't stack up like that, but that's okay. We're going to move this over to the side, maybe a bit closer, and there's a bounce back in place, ready to take all that out. We're going to send our exploding keg there. It didn't really hit the guy over there, but it's not a big deal. Ooh, I overlapped my kick with the paladin. I literally had no stagger to clear there. Maybe I should step in this to get some stagger to clear, dude. I don't know. I'm just trying to build up stagger for Celestial Brew, but I guess I don't really need Celestial Brew here. That's the thing, though. Like, my Celestial Brew uses are usually only when I have a lot of stagger to clear. So maybe that's the issue I'm running into. Sometimes there just ain't no stagger to clear. Raw Soul comes out. We stand over here. Now you might be wondering, why did I put the location marker over there, the world marker? Because unlike popular belief, the souls don't actually spawn directly behind you. Where they spawn is the closest wall. So if you try to stack here sometimes, or if you stack in melee here, if you stack in melee here to put them there, they're actually going to go here or here. So you want to stand close to close to a wall, to the closest wall when you're in melee, and this way we can all just stay in melee to continue beating the shit out of the boss. Mana 5 seconds. We got a lot of time. If you guys got CDs, can lust on start, but safer 50%. We got 30 seconds till the boss spawns, so the healer has more than enough time to get mana. And lust 50% was asked. I say if we have cooldowns, then send it right at the beginning because you'll just burn the boss faster. But so that's more time efficient. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna taunt the boss to prevent any sort of nonsense happening. Let's put down weapons of order and try to get some stacks in. Big hit comes in. We're gonna purify that. Healer immediately heals me, which I respect. I really appreciate healers that go out of their way to make sure that the tank is safe. As much as tanks are self-sufficient for the most part, I do appreciate it still. Grasping Rift comes out. I'm gonna stand on top of the boss. Very, very well stacked here. Could be stacked a little bit more. I'm trying to without overlapping. We're gonna ring a piece this guy, and then we're gonna stun everything, and that doesn't really work out, but this is dead. We're gonna touch of death this guy, increase our damage on the boss, and go back to the boss. Bomb Mucker got clipped there for a second. I almost called him the other thing that he actually wants to be called. I used my dampen harm there a little bit late, but it's whatever. It isn't gonna kill me, so I don't really care. This rift is just us getting moved a little bit, so it's not a big deal. I keep running out of purified chi stacks because I don't purify my thingy enough. Ooh, Paladin gets clipped. We're having some issues getting hit by abilities here. Hopefully we clear up those issues soon. This is a very dangerous moment for us here. Very dangerous moment because we're about to get hit by this and okay, let me stun everything. Explosive keg, try to clean that up. Okay, we blew them up very quickly. Now I need to heal myself immediately, purify, and let's use Celestial Brew. Stay safe. All right, none of the piggies are coming in towards us here, and perfectly baited Dark Devastation here across from us. I don't know if it was intentionally baited like that or if it was just a, a lucky coincidence, but I'm not going to question it. We're going to send weapons of order here. I have 2 stacks of Celestial Brew. I really don't have much to purify. Okay, that person managed to move out. I just used Purifying Brew like an idiot. Paralysis on that one. Can I ring a piece or something? I don't have anything available for this. We lose 2 people to the piggies or a frontal, I'm not sure. We have Red Paladin for CR. We should probably CR Healer. CR Healer goes out. Healer takes it, hopefully moves out of all this nonsense. Boss is almost dead. Reaping Scythe comes out. I'm going to Fortifying Brew and just beat the shit out of the boss. Touch of Death is available. We'll soon be able to use it. No ads this time. Piggies are not on top of us. Frontal goes out. People move out of the way. And we're ready to take this home with a Touch of Death right about now. Well played. Suboptimal route, but we still time it. Look at that. Our first 12 has been timed. 34 rating has been gained. Love it. Good call on not pulling the double thing because range was all over the place and it would have been a shit show. So I like that. Now I have a Theater of Pain 11 key. I'm going to re-roll that into something I might be able to use. There it is. Dark Flame Cleft. Not exactly useful. I already timed that, I think. So we're going to have to look for something else. Hit them with the shill message, take the portal, and I think we're good to go. See you around in the leave party. I'm pretty happy with my performance. I'm curious to see how many chi bursts I had. Let's take a quick look. Where is it? There it is. 43 casts of chi burst in a, let's see, how much were we in combat? 25 minutes. So I could have squeezed out 50, but I was holding them for sometimes. I was holding them sometimes because I wanted weapons of order and because mobs were about to die and stuff like that. So maybe that's why I don't get quite as many out. I think that's okay though. I think that's okay. Now, more importantly, how many Celestial Brews? How many applications of Celestial Brew do I have? Having to scroll down is already bad. 19 applications of Celestial Brew in a 25 and a half minute combat dungeon. So I think this boils down to some fights. I can't build up 6 purified chi stacks to make this worth using. I mean, it's worth using even without it, but it just feels silly because if I can't build up 6 stacks of stagger, I'm really not in that much danger, am I? And look how rarely I had heavy stagger compared to how much I have light stagger. It's silly, you know what I mean? So I don't get that many 3 stacks. So how that works, by the way, if you're not familiar with Brewmaster, you have a passive that basically whatever amount of damage you take, a certain percentage of that damage is being staggered over time over 10 seconds. And this bar underneath my energy bar is what tells me how much stagger I've built up. You can build up basically infinite stagger, but not infinite, whatever. You build up a lot of stagger, sometimes more than your maximum health, so you need to clear it. You clear it by using this thing, which is purifying brew. And that, depending on how much stagger you clear, gives you stacks of purified chi, which is the bar that I have over here. Those stacks amplify the absorb from Celestial Brew. So sometimes I just don't take enough damage to get multiple stacks. You can get 1 to 3 stacks depending on how heavy the stagger is that you clear. Sometimes I just don't take enough damage to get enough stacks to get the 6 stacks to use Celestial Brew. Now, is that a mismanagement on my end? Possibly, most likely, but I feel like it doesn't exactly even matter, because if I'm only taking light stagger, that probably means I don't have to really do anything to survive. I mean, I have to heal myself and, keep purifying a little bit and stuff like that. But for the most part, healers can just off heal me. Now, I'm curious to see how much of the healing was on me. Let's take a look at spells. 990 million. Not that shocking, because I take extra healing from a lot of sources. How much was overhealing? 39%. That's kind of normal considering druids just have hots, so you're at full health getting, all that good shit. But look at that. Regrowth is a lot of the healing on me. Does that mean that I was getting regrowth spammed at me or not? I don't actually know. I kept getting wax ward as well, which is the shield trinket from DFC. Is this a lot of healing on a Brewmaster? I feel like it's not really all that much healing on a Brewmaster. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I really don't feel like the healer was struggling to keep me alive. I should have probably asked them at the end of the dungeon to see if I was healing myself enough or not. Now I'm thinking a little bit about getting some more self-healing in here through this. By this, I mean Expel Harm. It's over here and I have it tracked and all that, but I don't pay all that much attention to it. I press it relatively often, but I don't think that's really, let me take a look. We have 10 casts of Expel Harm throughout the entire dungeon. I take back what I said about pressing it relatively often. Did I really press it that few times? Something feels wrong about that. Because I've kind of comboed, because Expel Harm, I believe, also reduces your stagger. Yeah, there you go, Tranquil Spirit. 5% of my stagger is cleared when I use Expel Harm. So I've been using it for that, but I guess I don't use it as often as I thought. Either way, I'm thinking of making a WeakAura that would increase the chance of me using this when it's actually beneficial. So I was thinking something like below 50% health, and when I have like 2 or more orbs out, then I really want to press this because it's gonna like fill my health bar basically. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should make it dance right here when that is the condition, or that is the state of affairs. So below 50% HP with 2 stacks of, or rather two little orbs on the ground. 2 little healing spheres. Maybe that is what I need to do. Because they'll see it over here dancing and being annoying, so... You know what? It can't hurt, so let's make it. Now we have Healthstone reminders, which I'm going to just copy and paste. Here's a Healthstone reminder. I'm going to duplicate it, call it Expel Harm. Not Excel. Expel Harm reminder. I already have that. Expel Harm reminder brew. Hey, there you go. Okay, we're going to drag that up here to Monk. Close this. From Monk to Brew. There we go. And it is currently not doing what I want it to do because it's currently working with item count and stuff like that for the thingy with the stuff. But cooldown progress and item should not be what I'm looking for here. It should be spell. Spell is what I wanted to click. And the spell should be Expel Harm, which is 322101. Boom. There we go. So when health is below 50%, when I have Expel Harm not on cooldown, and I think, so what I think I can do is spell count I can use for it to be two charges of the thing. So equals or greater to, greater or equals to. I think this spell count will actually work for the spheres. So what this is going to do is, well, first of all, it's going to, okay, I've removed the text. So if my health is below 50% and Expel Harm is off cooldown and I have 2 or more orbs, this should be dancing over here. So I have to dip below 50% health, which I don't think is going to be an issue here. And I need to have 2 stacks of the little orbs on the ground, but those are just not showing up for me right now, which is great. There's 1 orb, there's 3 orbs. The spell count, oh, there we go. We're below 50%. You've consumed 1 of the orbs. And it's there, it's wagging at me. Let's go. Okay, cool. So it does work. Spell count does work. Very cool. And drop down here, do a little dash so I don't take fall damage, and we good. Very nice. Cool. So we have that wagon over there. We're also going to have it overlap with health stones, but I don't care. It's whatever. Whichever one I see works out kind of well. No, I don't want to duel you, bro. So that's a nice little improvement. I guess I'll get more Expel harms out, and that'll be nice. But friends, I believe that is going to be just about it for this episode. We did our first 12. We got a good chunk of rating out of it. It was a very smooth run, and I'm quite happy with it. So if you enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. If you want to see what happens between these episodes, you can check out the stream. If you can't make it to the stream, you can check out the live section of this YouTube channel to find the VODs. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Am I getting good at this? Am I actually doing okay? Am I doing fine? And I actually beat this fire mage on damage. And still timed the dungeon, I just realized. Holy crap.